Hi YouTube and welcome to another video. Now this one's going to be all about me exploring this small forest slash large woodland, whichever way you want to look at it, and trying to get some autumnal shots using the lovely colours we've got at the moment. It's not full into the autumn colours, I wouldn't say, but we're there enough that we're getting some nice golden colours on a lot of these ferns. Some of the tree leaves are turning that golden colour as well, and especially on the edge and the tips of the leaves, which are looking really nice. Now I'll be the first to admit I am not very good, or I don't think I'm very good at woodland photography. It is somewhere I normally struggle quite a bit, and it's somewhere that I struggle to find compositions. To me it's a lot of chaos, and I'm not really that good at shifting through it, trying to find nice locations or compositions. Today I'm hoping to get some nice images, both ones involving some close-up intimate shots of maybe some of the ferns or some of the trees, various things I come across, or just slightly wider shots, more landscape style involving the bigger scene really. It's an area that has lots of silver birches, so I'm hoping I'm going to be able to find some nice examples of those to shoot, which should give me a nice image. Now the light today, unfortunately, is very overcast, which is going to give me some nice balanced images. But unfortunately, it's not going to give us any of those really nice direct light images, some that look really good when you get them hitting the trees. Stuff like this, if you can get a really autumnal tree and you get the light hitting it, which kind of makes it stand out from the background, you can get some really nice images. But we're not going to get that today, and it is just starting to rain slightly now, just spit. I don't think it's going to last, but it does make me kind of think that we're not going to get any of that golden light. And we are about an hour and a half away from sunset now, so I think we're set for these conditions for the rest of the shoot. But it's a lovely place, a lovely location, kind of right in the middle of the woodland here. I'm going to be making my way around now, trying to find some locations. Hope you enjoy this one, and I'll catch up with you when I'm all set up, ready for my first shoot. Right, I've pretty much made my way all the way up the forest now, pretty much to the other end of it from where you saw me last. It's quite a walk, and it's quite hilly at points, so I've got the coat off to try and cool down. But I've had to do that because there was so much kind of foliage and trees and so much close-up stuff stuck in together. I couldn't really get an image between them that I liked, and I knew that I'd have to try and get up to clear a bit of the forest, see if I can shoot down and isolate stuff. And that's what exactly I've done. I'm probably about 200 meters now before the forest ends. I'm just looking down into this nice valley here, and we have got a river running down there, which you can probably just about hear in the background, or you probably heard at the other location in the background when I was a bit closer to it. Now what I've got up here is I've got a few silver birch trees that are a bit closer. I don't think I'm going to be able to isolate them that well, simply because the autumnal colours in the birches are also similar colours to the trees in the backgrounds. But I'm going to give it a go, and I'm going to be trying doing that by shooting at quite a low aperture, quite wide open, to try and create a bit of softness in the background. And I'm hoping that is going to work with these foreground trees. I'm probably going to be using my 50mm Nikon AIS lens from about 1984-85 as well. It is actually one of my favourite lenses, but I very rarely use it. It's not really a landscape lens as such. I use it more for blown out backgrounds because it's a f1.4, and it does give you some really nice sharp images as well. So I'm going to be getting that on, as well as shooting with my go-to 16-35, and I'm also going to be getting the 70-200mm on there, probably with my 1.5 tele extender, which I'm going to be using probably to shoot into the forest a bit deeper, try and capture some nice textures, nice colours, and see what kind of images we can get from it. I'm only going to be wandering around now, probably about 50 meters from this location. I'm not really going to be taking you with me as I do that. There's too much stuff I've got to climb over. But I will be trying to take some B-roll while I'm doing it. I will hopefully be showing you the kind of angles I'm shooting at and stuff like that. I did spot a few isolated ferns, which I could potentially use to get some kind of intimate shots on the way back. So hopefully I'll be able to make use of those. But I wanted to get up here while there's a bit lightness in the sky still, to try and get some nice colours in the whole forest as a whole. And I'll be using those ferns on the way back, probably when it's a bit darker, just to try and get some nice intimate shots. I'm going to stop filming now, crack on with these image. Hope you'll like them, hope you like the B-roll coming up, and I'll be seeing you probably, for me, in about 20 minutes time down at the other shot For you, it'll be after these pictures coming up. Now I know I said I wasn't going to bother vlogging up here, but I found a really nice tree actually, and also we might get a bit of colour in this sky. We've got a bit of golden light at the very top of the cloud. If we're lucky during the sunset hours, that might just catch a bit more colour. Although I am wary, I need to try and get down that further down and take some pictures of those ferns, which are quite like further down the path. I have a feeling it's going to be a very dark image when I'm down there, so we'll have to see how that comes out. But I found this little isolated tree here. Now it's a really small silver birch tree, but it's just a really nice composition. It's got enough of the forest in the background that's picking up some of these really cool details in the background, the textures, something to work with it. But as I said earlier, to try and really make it pop and isolate it, I'm shooting at a very low aperture. I'm shooting at an aperture of f1.4 and also f2, simply because my lens here, the 50mm Nikon AIS, is quite old now, and at 1.4 on the Canon, I don't know if it was the same on the Nikons back in the day, the film cameras, but I suspect it was. It is a tiny bit soft, and it does do some funky things. There's a lot of vignetting in it. I happen to really like those images at f1.4, but I'm going to be shooting f2 shots as well, just so I get those really good quality ones in case the other ones don't work out. Getting really nice images by doing it. I'm getting a really nice soft background and a bit of softness in the foreground as well, and it's just really emphasising the colours in those leaves. It's a really isolated shot, and it's not doing much more apart from that, apart from separating that tree. You really can't see, to be honest, much behind it. It's a bit of a blur, but as an isolated shots go on that tree, it's working really nicely. Now, I have been doing most of my shots today handheld, but because it's a manual focus lens, it's also manual aperture control as well, so you have a ring here to slide that sets your aperture. You kind of need it on a tripod, especially if you're shooting at f1.4. A tiny amount of movement in your hand will be enough to blur the image, and there will be blurring going on from the leaves I focus on to the ones at the back of the tree. A tiny bit of distance in the plane of focus field, on the depth of field, should I say, when I'm this close to the tree, will make it blur. So the whole tree is not going to be dead sharp. What I'm going to be focused on though, is I'm going to be focusing on getting this really nice tree trunk sharp. We've got this really nice white kind of beech tree here, and it's got this really nice bend at the top of the trunk just before it goes on to the foliage and the leaves. It's making a really nice image, so I'm going to be focusing dead on that tree trunk, and I'm going to be shooting, like I said, 1.4 f2 as well. I'm just going to get the camera on, set it up. Now I've pretty much got the tree in the dead centre of the frame. Because it's an isolated shot and because this lens is going to do a lot of vignetting, by having it dead in the centre, I'm going to get a really nice soft image as it goes out to the edges. Now I'm going to zoom on the back of the camera into the bark, or the trunk, should I say. I'm just going to manually focus it now. And this lens is so funky at that f1.4, the amount of chromatic aberration you get on the back of this is unreal. But that's pretty much about as sharp as I think I'm going to be able to get it on the back of there now. It's a very narrow blade of focus you get. And I'm just going to take that shot. Now that is f1.4. I'm going to do an ISO of 100. And that is giving me 160th of a second. Now what I'm going to do is just go down to an ISO of an f-stop of f2. Now that tree trunk now is absolutely pin sharp at that f-stop. I might just make minor adjustments. I think that's about it. All the chromatic aberration now is gone. Still getting a really nice image. So quite happy with that, and what I'm probably going to do is I'm probably going to hang around here for a little bit longer than I was planned. I'm going to get my telephoto lens on now, and I'm going to be shooting into some of these trees to try and get some textures, and depending on what the sky does here, I might go onto one of my Canon lenses then, and so I can get the grad filters on the front. I will leave it at this point now. I'll continue probably doing a bit of B-roll while I do this, while I get some of these images, and I'll catch up with you at the last location now, which will be down by that fern.
Life is a winding road, no telling where it goes. Driving through days and nights, won't stop for traffic lights. And I really wanna know if I will ever figure out where the road goes. Even if I'm falling down, I will keep on searching for my highs. You can say I lost my mind, I will keep on holding my head high, even if the sky is falling down. Jumping from cliffs so high, trusting our wings to fly. Sometimes we're crashing down, but we get up and start from the ground. And I really wanna know if I will ever figure out where the road goes. Even if I'm falling down, I will keep on searching for my